This is the Dogon Podcast, and we're going to try to give you guys some value today and tell you really how we keep ourselves focused, how we kind of move towards the things that we want to accomplish, and maybe we're just going to talk about some of the upcoming products that we might be doing. We've been looking at a few.
We have at least like 4 or 5 different ones that we've been looking at. I have been personally interested in like a mushroom, either like a gummy, a capsule, or I mean, recently we were looking at coffee, but I know a while back I tried a certain brand of mushroom coffee. I don't remember what it was, but it was extremely good, and I feel like it was better than like a regular coffee I would make in my, my pot or whatever. And mushrooms have a lot of benefits to, your cognitive function and, focus and a lot of different things. I mean, if you look into any of the mushrooms on any supplement,
Yeah, you're going to be surprised with some of the benefits. There's a reason why they call it the food of the gods, they used to.
It's been coming out recently, more and more people starting to take them, and I don't know, it's just interesting. I think they're interesting. I like to take them myself. Not psychedelic mushrooms, but regular mushrooms that are just good for you. Yeah,
like lion's mane and reishi mushrooms, a bunch of different kinds that really have wide amount of benefits. And we've been looking at some organic instant coffees with mushroom blend. I've been looking at some teas with some of them are mushroom teas, and and that would be really cool.
It'd be interesting.
We want to definitely make a hard transition away from just supplementation, and so that's kind of been one of our thoughts, but we definitely want to do mushroom capsules and mushroom vitamins in the future, of course. That's definitely a goal, but it's hard to find it, something that we can package in our packs easily.
And it's also not exactly the cheapest of products to get going.
Not at all.
The teas and such are actually pretty easy to get going, so I think that's probably going to be the next thing, but we'll see what happens, to be honest. But
I mean, it really depends on how things shake out, and we're in this for the long haul. It's another thing, I kind of had like a moment of mental rest the other day when I was thinking, and I was like, even if our sales don't skyrocket like we want to, or even if they don't stay consistent, or whatever, it's like what we're doing is more than making products and selling them. It's this whole doggone universe. I mean,
and it's just a process of refining and finding exactly what it is that people want, I guess.
Yeah, and we've always gotten feedback and made moves based on that, but we're looking forward to having, a more wide reach in the market of different stuff that we offer.
And it's nothing against the Go Pack, of course. I honestly love it. I still take it every day, I think you guys should try it out, but we just want to kind of expand and give people more things that they may want.
Yeah, and we don't want people to be like, oh yeah, Dogon Packs, they're that vitamin company or that supplement company. We're a wellness lifestyle company, and we take that to heart. We want to look at every aspect of wellness in your life and try to make it simple, try to make it easy. And I know for me, the option of instant coffee, if it tastes good, I mean, and it's got the benefit. I mean, this one that I'm looking at that we can put up to like 6 or 7 different mushrooms in it, and it's like a 7-to-1 ratio of instant coffee to mushroom. So you're getting a large amount of like mushroom powder in there as well. And it's just, I don't know, that's exciting to me.
Yeah, that is really cool. I mean,
I would love to have that.
I'm a big advocate for different mushrooms just because of the personal effect I've felt from just, taking them every once in a while,
Absolutely. I mean, it really makes a big difference, and lion's mane is one of my favorite, and, and to be able to, get that put in there too. So you guys are going to see a lot of different options coming out. I might start putting out articles and kind of like, kind of like taking a poll. Our articles on X have been getting some exposure. Same with LinkedIn. We're starting to get some traffic from those. And I saw our website took a jump the other day by almost 200 unique visits,
which is cool.
Yeah, direct visits from a link click. So that means it's probably from our content. So that's exciting to see. And we're just kind of growing this doggone thing. That's what it's about. It's this process that we committed to. We didn't say, like, of course everyone wants to start and have it just go gangbusters where you're almost selling out all the time. And, but at the same time, it's exciting to be okay with it being exactly how it is.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if you keep unrealistic expectations in your mind and they don't happen consistently, you kind of get down on yourself, and you're like, you kind of get in this depressed mood, and it's just not good for productivity.
Yeah, and you can have and I'm not saying like lower your dreams. We're not saying that. We're saying
not necessarily.
Elongate your time frame.
Yeah.
Zoom out a little bit, and realize that what you're doing is building a foundation and doing more than just this centralized action that you're focused on.
And it might take a little bit longer than you expect, and that's normal. I mean, businesses take a while to form, and get going, but
yeah, and we're looking at building a brand that's going to one day have 100-year anniversary. I mean, maybe one of our products will help us live that long so we can be there, but I don't know. I mean,
maybe.
The stuff that we want to get into, and I mean, we eventually want to have our own laboratories. We want to have our own production facilities, so the sky's the limit when it comes to what we can do and what we can grow into. And I've said it, to Tristan before. I don't care if this thing takes 5 years, 10 years to start really making it. That doesn't matter to me.
It's not really about the time.
I just think 5-10 years worth of content, man. How many videos would we have out there?
A lot.
That'd be wild. Even if they're only getting a few hundred views. But thanks, TikTok. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so we've actually had some big ones on TikTok lately. We're over 14K on one. We had one completely 100% organically go to 10,000.
Right.
By itself. And there's really not even much to that one. But
which one was it?
That was the one where I'm like, to any strong liberals out there,
Oh, it was one of the podcast clips?
Yeah. It was just, and I think it was just because it kind of caught people's attention. And there's a lot going on in our world right now. So when you talk about some of this stuff, it really grabs people.
People are very into their politics and into their beliefs and opinions. And if you say something on either side, honestly, they get pretty fired up about it.
Yeah. And, we're going to start rotating through a few different types of content, basically, where we want to have some episodes that are directed towards like, how do you actually do this stuff? How do you, win the mental game, the mental battle?
Right.
I don't like to call it a battle because I think it's like it's a profoundly peaceful experience. We just experience all the negative aspects of it externally, but internally, I feel like your mind enjoys the process. So for me, it's like we want to have some episodes where we help you with some specific things and keep your focus, kind of like what we're going to talk about a little bit here, and then we want to have some about what's going on in our world, what's going on in politics and religion and all the stuff that really just gets under people's skins, so we can talk about it and we can have an open dialogue and start having communication on it.
Right.
And then of course just have our regular where we're just shoot the shit type of, videos, because you guys seem to like those too.
Yeah,
so
we're trying to get a little variety out there, something for everybody, but
yeah, so today, I kind of want to talk about like what I do personally for focus and why I think it's important, and it kind of highlights one of our core values at Dogon Packs, which is say it before you see it.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before, and it's really about convincing yourself and programming your mind by continuous repetitive action.
Yeah.
And it'll blow your mind if you just try writing out what you want to accomplish as if you've already done it, like maybe 4 or 5 main things.
Yeah.
And if you read that 2-3 times a day, every day for a couple weeks, it's amazing what it does to your mind. Sometimes it doesn't manifest those things right away, but it changes the way or what you recognize, what you pay attention to, and what you do, you know? So to me, that's one of the biggest things is writing that down and saying it before you actually see it or even believe it.
Right. I mean, that's very important. I mean, that's kind of how this thing even appeared,
Yeah. That was just a thought, and now it's a completed, product. We've got plenty of them, we're selling a fair amount of them, we're not killing it in sales. TikTok is definitely, I thought I was going to have a ton of TikTok sales, and it's just not performing in that same way.
I think TikTok's kind of suppressing a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah, it just seems consistent because, but I have had people though too that say like, oh, I'm going to go to your website and buy it there, and so it's like, I'm not really too worried about where the traffic comes from, but I would like to understand where it's why it's coming from, that because it's like then we can help dial in other aspects. But yeah, so to me, saying it before you see it is huge. But to go back on something that Tristan said about when you have like unrealistic expectations and then that realization of them not happening continues to occur over and over again, that messes with you.
It does a lot.
That gets in your head, because then you're like, I'm a loser, I'm a failure. I
struggled with it a lot.
But then it's like sometimes you look at it and you're like, what are you talking about? You got a completely finished product. You got, 100,000 pills. You got, you start thinking about all the different stuff that we've set up and laid the foundation for, and it's just kind of like, okay, what's next? Let's keep doing this. Let's keep rocking it, And we're just getting into our social media promotion. We've only been, it kind of shocked me when I looked at our podcast episodes. I think it was like 3 months ago we started this thing.
Really?
Yeah, like I let me pull it up real quick, because I was kind of like, what? I thought we started that way earlier, but I went all the way back to episode 1. I encourage you guys to go check it out. It's pretty funny. It's actually a good episode. Episode 1 and 2 they're actually pretty good.
I'm scared to go back.
I look weird.
I'm self-conscious, but
I'm like this. I'm like in my chair, like, hey, what's up, guys? Like I don't know why, but it was like I was so like slouched. But so I thought that was like, oh fuck, that's annoying. But at the same time, it's like, it didn't really bother me too much. But yeah, they were good episodes.
Yeah.
And we've wanted to start from the beginning to show you guys this. So yeah, let me go to videos real quick. Let me just look at this, just so we can be 100% on point.
Feels like it's been a minute, but
episode 1, 3 months ago.
Man,
isn't that crazy?
I feel like it was a long time ago, but it hasn't been that long.
I know. So like because again, I kind of had that self relaxation moment mentally, where I was like, it doesn't matter, man. Like, we're just getting into this thing.
And that was another thing, a little thing we used to say is, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I remember that was a big one of mine, just because,
dude, the beginning was such a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Dealing with the manufacturers, like,
yeah, it was stressful because I didn't even know if we were going to get what we paid for,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you always have worries.
But multiple thousands of dollars that you pay on online to these people, and it's like, I know they're going to come, but like, what if they don't? Yeah. And the woman I was dealing with had 2 first names. That's like a huge rule of mine. Is like, that's got to be a fake name, right?
You don't interact with people. Well, some people really have 2 first names, and it's like the track record with those types of people has been good for me.
It's not good.
Like Arnold Michaels. That's a guy I knew, and I was like, and I'm like, oh, when I first met him, like, that's a very prestigious sounding name. No, that is, and so I've had some bad luck with some dual first namers, and this woman had the same name for first and last name, Lucia. So I was like, what the?
It was strange.
But yeah, so there was a lot of, I remember in the beginning, I was still like in go build mode. So I was like looking at all the different aspects of social media we had to get up and going, and the website. I was like deep in the website building that thing. So for me, it wasn't as bad because I was kind of like a tired dog. You know what I mean? Like I was walked.
I don't know. When you look back on it, it is a lot that has been done and a lot of things that have been put in place. And if I was, me back then, I would have been wanting, where I am right now. So it's like, I don't know. You got to pick what you worry about, I guess. Yeah,
and that's another thing that I wanted to kind of highlight real quick is recording as you go through this process. And I don't mean you don't have to like record on video like we are, or do a podcast or anything like that, but take a journal and just write down different things that you're struggling with each day, that you did well, that you liked. Because when you look back at that stuff and it's like, months have gone by, and all of a sudden this thing that you were like so worried about or stressed about happening has already happened, and you've forgotten about it, and you're on to like the next, and it's just like
on to the next worry.
Or like the podcast of us going back and seeing episode 1 was 3 months ago.
Yeah.
That's not even like, we're not even in business yet.
It hasn't been that long at all. I felt like it feels like it's been a year, honestly, but
well, welcome to business, man. That's what it's like. It's like an endless day that seems like forever. But yeah, it's so recording what you do on a daily basis, positive and negative. You know, I know sometimes
even like physically recording like this can be beneficial because you can watch it back and physically see yourself. And I don't know, I used to be very scared of the camera when we first started. I was terrified.
I remember being like, what do you mean? You know, like, 'cause I don't know, like I got used to it.
I was fucking petrified, but I don't know, I kind of got used to it, and you kind of just forget that it's there sometimes, and you just start talking, and that's some of the best stuff.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And it's like, you know, when we look back and we look at all those different things that we've done and that we've accomplished, it, like, I don't know about you, but do you feel like I'm just getting started now? Like, I mean, it's kind of weird.
It does, and it was a lot of work to get to the just starting point, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, damn, but at the same time, it's also like, just keep going. It doesn't really matter what the fuck happens in between, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, one thing that I've learned is that, you know, or that I've confirmed throughout this process is anything is possible.
It is definitely possible. I mean, if you want to do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, straight up, you know, point ended there, you can do it. But it depends, you know,
what you're willing to sacrifice.
What you're willing to actually do for that thing, you know?
Yeah. And that's sometimes when you kind of call yourself out on the carpet like that, you know, sometimes you could you're walking down this road and you're like, okay, I have to do this in order to keep going, or I have to do this in order for this to work. And you're like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, I've been there. When I was at Taco Fuego, you know, and the lady's like, I'm leaving. She didn't want to work there anymore. And it was like, so I was just like opening every night, closing every night. And it was just like, I was always there, you know, and I was like, okay, well, I just have to commit to keep doing this every day to make this work. And I was like, I don't want to do that.
Fucking do that.
You know, it was like,
I mean, I'm in the restaurant grind myself right now, but at the same time, you got to pay the bill somehow.
Amen. Yeah. I mean, trust me, reading through hundreds of pages of documents that I don't understand, even though I've read them so many times, like, with what I'm doing right now, it's like insane sometimes. But yeah, it was just really exciting to be like, we started 3 months ago. We're fucking brand new.
Yeah, I mean, it really hasn't been brand that long, so there's really no reason to be
discouraged at all. Yeah,
no reason.
Like, you know, and it's just because you get caught up in your own head, you know, and you have a bad day or two, and then it's just like, you know, it just compounds, and then you're just like, what am I even doing? And it makes you question like every aspect.
I mean, I've been through it multiple times of just like, is this ever going to work? Are we ever going to actually make it? You know, is this fucking product going to sell? Or, you know, you get all these worries and all these things that you build up, and it's like, none of that shit matters.
Yeah, and it's like, well, this is, you know, I'm doing Dogon for the rest of my life. Like that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So like, eventually we will find our stride. We'll have our viral video. We'll, you know, and the reason we started the way we did, because again, when you're starting a company, you know, a large amount of your initial, especially if you're trying to build a brand, a large amount of your initial capital has to go towards advertisement and reach and customer acquisition. And
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, and it's like, so we started doing the podcast because content marketing is an evergreen marketing that does not go away. Once the videos are out there, they're out there.
And I mean, you can expand in any which way you want with it as well. Like, you can do different things with, like, I don't know, you can branch off, do like fucking, I don't even know what I'm gonna say, but like, you know, different shit, like, I don't know, gaming or like fucking anything. You can stream IRL walking around at the park or some shit. I don't know, anything.
Yeah, I mean, this is the, you know, maybe we should change the podcast name to the Dogon Universe.
Yeah,
just be like, this is the Dogon Universe. No, that's just, it is part of it, but that's what we're talking about. We're building, like, you know, an entire community of people who are willing to step outside of the normal thought, think outside of the box, and look for ways to improve things in their daily lives.
It's really important, and it's also a struggle to stay on top of it, though.
Yeah, it is, because there's so many. It's like you have, you know, it's like trying to keep a bubble in your pocket.
Yeah.
You know, like,
ain't gonna happen.
Like, think about that. Like, you know, I think it might be possible, but like, nobody's done it yet. You know, like, and that's kind of what this whole thing is like, can two people who've never, you know, developed a lifestyle brand, start it from nothing, no followers, and make it happen? And I
mean, it's definitely possible, and it's just really down to determination, I guess.
and it's already, and that's another realization I had. Like, we have already made it. You know, like we wanted to have a wellness lifestyle company, have a podcast, have our website set up, be able to take sales.
Right.
Like, we've made it to that point. Like,
I think the idea of it was a little more glamorous, maybe, or
maybe to like, I kind of expected a kick in the teeth for really? Like a couple of years. Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, you know, I'm just gonna superstitiously knock on wood. You know, it could blow up, or it could like take off or crash at any minute. And what I realized about what we're doing here is that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
because
it doesn't really matter.
because it's more about this process that we're communicating and showing to everybody that like, even if the Go Pack, you know, stopped selling and nobody would buy it, and it was just something that, you know, wasn't a successful product.
Right.
It's like, okay, that's just
on to the next one.
Yeah,
I mean, we already have the foundation. We don't have to go through all the setup work of the next one. I mean, it's not as hard.
And it's like, remember, we're hypercritical of ourselves and everything that we do, because every single person who's tried this thing loves it.
Yeah.
Like, they're not just like, oh, that's kind of cool, guys, awesome. No, they're like,
yeah, everybody likes it.
Some people, they didn't even have our contact information, and they seeked us out online to send us messages and leave reviews on our different posts. You know, a lot of people do it on posts instead of under, you know, the reviews. But I'm trying to get our Google account set up, our like in Google search and Google Business, but they're saying somehow I violated terms and services with what I put in there. So it's like
anything really, but
yeah, like I'm trying to get it, like, you know, they're saying like I'm not a real business, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
But
like,
I mean, we have an LLC. And
I uploaded all the documents to them, all the certifications, the lab testing. Like, I was like, what? Because they didn't. That was another thing. Google didn't tell me like what was wrong.
Yeah,
they're just like, no,
it's just like, it's kind of fucked, but you can figure out what it is.
Yeah, and it's like, go through a couple hundred pages of terms of services and fix all that stuff. And it's like, no, like
I can't fucking read 400 pages of this shit and figure out what the hell it was. I mean,
and this is like my maybe 8th, 9th business that I've set up on Google Business, you know, so like that I've made a Google Business listing for. So it's like, I know what I'm doing. I know I didn't like do something stupidly wrong. Like, I don't get it. And so a lot of times in my life too, something like this will happen, and I'll be like pissed off about it for days, and it'll just like mess with my head for days. Something as small as the reason it's big to me is I want to be able to have Google reviews. Like, that's like gold, you know. So and it's easy. Everybody can leave a Google review. So it's just like, you know, that's why I want to get us set up on Google so bad. But like, a lot of times this stuff will happen. I'll be all pissed. I'll be all annoyed, and then like 3 days later, it'll be like, we're sorry, it was a mistake on our end and everything is fixed. And I'll be like, damn it. Yeah. Like, you know, and I don't even get like the yes feeling. I get the like sons of bitches, I've been pissed for 3 days for nothing.
No reason.
For nothing. Like, you know, the only company that I have worked with so far, a third party, that has been phenomenal and super fucking easy, like super easy, is Walmart.
Oh yeah.
I mean, setting up a product on Walmart is insane. The amount of stuff is insane, but everything is so easy. Just you just fill it in your, you know, if there's something wrong, we have a dedicated account manager. I can call her and she like fixes it, you know, like it's just, and that blows my mind because, you know, a lot of times service at Walmart isn't always top notch, but like Walmart.com, they're going after the online sales industry.
I mean, they have some money and they have a lot of people that can do a lot of things. So it's pretty cool and pretty, I don't know, it's just exciting to be able to get it onto Walmart.
Yeah, no, we're approved, account set up. I'm just trying, I'm going through like the last steps for the Go Pack to be up there, and then it's up there, you know, and that'll be like probably another 6 days because I got to wait for like this 5-day verification thing, which she already said, the account manager, you know, already said it passed all the stuff, and that the testing forms and all the business forms and all that were approved already, and it's just now it's like loading it into their system. Like
Walmart can approve it, but Google can't. Yeah,
like I had to fill out all this stuff for like Walmart for our UPC label or not, is it UPC?
I think so.
Yeah, you know, for that UPC label, so Walmart can add it to their scan document or to their scan app, so that if you want to like scan the back of it and see how much it costs on Walmart.com, like, you know, you can do that. So it's like all the process is being set up for it to be on the shelves there. So it's just, that's really exciting. And I honestly thought that was going to be like hell on earth to set up, and that's the easiest, best company I've worked with so far.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like even Amazon is kind of annoying at this point. Their customer service is really just like, you know, like it's not there. You can, Google, same thing. Google is like terrible.
I mean,
you know,
TikTok is like, is the hell on earth.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Google might be worse than TikTok.
Really?
Yeah, because dude, there's like, all they do is send you to articles. TikTok, I can at least get to a support ticket.
You can actually get to a real human being somehow?
I can get it takes like 15 days sometimes, but you can give them a ticket and they will do that ticket. Like when I was trying to work with Google, I like submitted my appeal and it was like immediately denied.
Because
that was like
everything through AI. Probably.
Yeah, and it's like, how is that possible that it was denied as I submitted it? Like, that's insane to me. And then the, you know, Google chat, she's like, you can pay for, you know, customer service at a higher level. Like what? Like you have to pay for like a customer service package in order for them to like.
Every company in the world has customer service agents that are literally there and available at all times.
You know what? I had an issue with Facebook and Meta. Guess what? Somebody called me.
Really?
Yeah, a human being from Meta called me. It was like, "Hey, sorry, Mr. Trefney, sorry, Dogon Packs." Well, you know, and I'm like, I was like, "This is wild."
Who is this?
I was like, "This is Meta, like Facebook." And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "This is crazy that
people call us."
And he was like, "Yeah, we're dedicated to making sure that, you know." I'm like, I was blown away.
Right.
You know, like, because I've hated Meta in the past. Yeah, but it's like. That was just impressive. I mean, I literally, that was the first thing I said. I was like, I'm just impressed.
Customer service is probably the most important thing about any business.
Yeah.
Because if something goes wrong and there's nothing you can do about it, that's the worst thing in the world. I mean, it's like...
And trust me, the way I am with companies, too, you guys can call me and be like, listen, you motherfucker, this thing came and it was fucking open and somebody, like, you know, I don't care, like, what happens with it. Like, if we send it to you and you cut the box open and it's, like, cut open, you know, and you think we did it and you call me all pissed off.
I'll give you a new one.
Yeah, I'm just going to send it. I'm going to be like, hey, how many do you want? Yeah, I'll send you out a couple. Like, you know, I'm going to be... So if you guys have customer service issues, it's like, come at us with it, you know, like, I understand when you're pissed. I'm probably, if something was wrong with the product or with the packaging or how it got to you, I'm going to be just as pissed as you are.
Yeah, I mean, it falls on us at the end of the day, so there's no reason to be mad about it.
Yeah, like, you know, if somebody called me with a problem with the Dogon Go Pack or something, you know, so like their case was busted or something, you know, I'd be like, this is bullshit. They'd be like, it is. I'd be like, I agree. Like, that's how that conversation would go. Like, I would never be like, just calm down, sir.
Because... I mean, if it was through, you know, shipping fucking it up, which is rare. I mean, our product is pretty solid. It's not going to get fucked up like that. But if somehow the magic happened and it is fucked up, you know, I would be pretty angry because all of that press comes back on me, not the fucking person who brought it there, you know?
Yeah. And I would be like, you know, I don't care how livid or angry somebody was, I would just be like, you're right. I agree. This is insane. This should have never happened. Whatever it is, you know. So like, and we haven't had any issues like that. Thank God. You know, we've had nothing but positive. But yeah, it's a whirlwind of emotions and thought processes and different things that we're looking at, and we just try to keep our goals in front of us. You know, if you guys saw in here, which maybe one day I'll show you, I got poster boards. I write shit all over.
There's all kinds of writing on everything.
I think he thought I was crazy when I first started because I kept buying all these poster boards and writing this shit down. But if you go,
I mean, I just thought it was interesting because I've never seen anybody do that before.
Yeah, because it's just like a mental program. Like, you don't even look at it, but you can tell me what's on the boards 90% of the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I know what's on those boards
because you see it.
Because I've literally, I mean, I have to, I mean, there's no, I mean, there's one on the door. There's no way to not see it if I want to leave this house.
I put them on the back of the doors and shit so that you have to look at them. I got one on the outside of my door that when he comes out of his room, he can like see it like the whole time.
Right there.
But it's funny to look back at that stuff because I got to redo the board on my door because
some of them are outdated, but
because half of them are done.
Yeah,
like we did the stuff that's on the board.
Which is nice. I mean, that's a good problem, but
yeah. And I always keep, you know, like I said in the beginning, I write my main focuses on a 3x5 card. And I keep a lot of those old ones. And I love to look back at them and be like, oh, all 5 of those are done.
Yeah.
That's cool. I remember writing those like, God, I hope I can get these done.
Yeah.
And then they're done already, you know? So yeah, just try to, you know, if you're trying to start your own business, or if you're just coming along for this ride, you know, anything that you want to do in your life, if you just say it before you see it, and you take that record, or you record what you feel and think and do on a daily basis, you don't have to be, again, crazy about it. One good thing, one bad thing, how you're feeling. You know, if you just did that, I would add in, you know, what you're grateful for too. I think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
When you have an attitude of gratitude, it really does make more things just like attracted to your life, you know? So just focus on that stuff. Focus on saying it before you see it, and recording on a daily basis. And the best way to say it before you see it is to have a consistency to it. Because if you're saying like, you know, the same thing like 50 different ways, it doesn't have the same effect on your brain.
The coolest thing is your thoughts are basically your reality. So if you're always negative and you're always down on yourself, or you're always thinking about like what could go wrong, I mean, you always need to be on top of what could go wrong, but you don't need to be completely stressing yourself out until you die, you know?
Yeah, because it's like, I don't know. I mean, I could get myself worked up right now about 50 things in our company.
There's a lot of things that would piss me off right now, and I could get really upset about it, but it's like, there's no reason to do that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just because that takes away your mental, you know, faculties from focusing on, you know, setting yourself up for success moving forward and what you want to do. Getting our, you know, our coffee, or mushroom coffee, or our tea. I'm really excited about the tea. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. And we have gotten a lot of feedback positive about the tea. So,
yeah.
So, but yeah, guys, you know, we just want to try to give you guys a little bit of value, and hopefully it's a, you know, it's a fun discussion. You guys see what we're doing and how we're trying to make this stuff happen, but not doing, just trying to change our perspective on time frame and focus. You know, sometimes you got to zoom out, and sometimes you have to realize that this is going to take a little bit. But like I said, with our content marketing approach, we're looking at something that is going to, in 2 years from now, even if we're a complete failure for the next 2 years, in 2 years, we will have so much momentum with our social media marketing and content marketing that even if we wanted to quit, we wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, because it's just too, I mean, I don't know. There's no reason to just stop. I mean, it's I don't know. It will eventually get to where you want it to be if you just stay in the game, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, not stay in and do the same things. Yeah. We're constantly like, well, hey, should we change this? We should go this direction. No, we should do that. Like every other day, it's like, this is our next product. This is our next product. Like, because we, you know, we're just constantly like psychotically looking at moving forward, regardless of, even when we were having issues with shipping, getting stuff here on time, like all of that headache. Like, do you remember how big of a deal that was? Yeah. And now it's like,
it's already done and it's already here, and none of that's an issue anymore.
Yeah, like I couldn't even get upset about that right now if I wanted to try to work myself, because it's like such a moot point, because I'm like, yeah, it's just fucking, that's where it is.
It's already there.
Yeah, but yeah, guys, so thank you so much for all the support. You know, really, you guys have been the main reason why we've seen so much growth. I mean, it's been awesome. Thanks for the shares, for the likes, for the follows.
Right, and if you're not subscribed, I feel like you should do so now if you like what you're seeing. If you don't, then just leave us a comment, tell us why.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of weird to just watch and not subscribe.
I mean, it's true.
It's kind of like somebody
doesn't... The button's right there, but...
Yeah. It's like if you don't have a profile picture.
You do what you want.
But see you guys.
See you later.
Among Us.